So welcome back, guys. This is the Ninja Movies, back again with an all-new movie review today. And if you guys checked out my VHS Out and About video, one of the movies, I'm going to eat my words here, because one of the first movies I watched out of that set was the film called The Dish, which I had to put a review up because I actually want to get my thoughts and give this movie a little bit more praise, because I was sort of roasting it in that video because I'm not a big fan of Australian cinema, and I could admit that. But this movie was thoroughly interesting. I didn't give it enough credit with the whole plot of the film, which more or less is the plot of this film is a remote Australian town, pretty much has this massive satellite, and we played such a big part in the original Apollo moon landing. Pretty much we were the ones talking back to NASA to have communication with Neil Armstrong and the ship itself anytime it was on our sort of side of the hemisphere. Did not know that at all, and credit to this movie. The comedy in it is very Australian, but I think it hits. It does well. The movie grossed a whole $16 million, which is, I was sort of knocking on the reviews on the back, but I mean, that's a pretty big movie for us, I can't even lie. It's starring Sam Neill and Patrick Warburton. Patrick Warburton in this movie plays a straight Yank, as we call him, but just a classic American. And a lot of the Australian characters are intimidated by him in this movie, and I think that really resembles a lot of how Australians and Americans actually really do see each other in real life. Australians normally just think we come off as a bit dumb and bogan, and it's kind of our culture and it's kind of our fault, but I do like that Patrick Warburton in this film really is just a class act, and he's like, I don't think any less of you at all. You may be intimidated because I come from a big place, but he's just like, honestly, I don't see it, mate. I'm just happy to be here and be on this mission with you. So I thought he did a great performance. Sam Neill, just does his thing. Very laid back man. He's a widower in this film. And, this is just the biggest thing that happened to this small town in Australia. And, the satellite is still there. After watching the film, it's very tempting to, just go up and see this whole thing. It's quite a spectacle. But overall, I just wanted to put this review out to sort of, say that I was wrong and the film was decent. Would I recommend it if you haven't seen it? I think for any Australian that's trying to get into Australian cinema, this is an easier watch than most. For Americans, I would say give it a go, but the humor is very oriented to original 2000s sort of Australian comedy. I mean, they're playing cricket on the fucking top of the satellite at the start of the movie, and they use that fucking word that I always hate, the drongo. It's very dated in that fact, but I kind of enjoyed it. The whole spectacle, they did some movie magic on this, because I'm sure a lot of this story was never actually took place. Like, they completely lost sight of the Apollo mission at one stage in the movie. They completely lost it. And it was all because of a power outage, and then somebody fucked up the generator so they couldn't get it back on. And then there's high-class winds that are gonna, jeopardize the mission. I'm sure all these things did not happen, but, just to make the movie a bit more interesting. And it did. It did well. A lot of unknown Australian actors to me, they did their thing. I really did enjoy how they played up, like, how bogan some of our people are. And then, to see... Like, my favorite part is when they had... It wasn't the President of the United States. It's some high-class member of the United States, and they're, like, presenting the American National Anthem, and they just played the completely wrong song. But it was a bit more upbeat, and they're like, I kind of wish that was our anthem. Like, it's funny when they just... It's like the culture shift. The whole movie is just, like, a back and forth. Like, they don't know anything about us. We don't know anything about them. I don't know, it was just a fun movie. It's not something that is essential to see in this life, but I honestly was happy I did, and I had to come out here and be honest and just say I, shit the bed on this one. I really did. I was making fun of this, and that's why this VHS collecting thing is so fun, because I would have never seen this movie. And so, if you're interested in, the whole Apollo mission, I've watched quite a few movies, and I actually will say this, the best defense is I would far, far rather watch this again than The First Man starring Ryan Gosling again. And I didn't mind that movie at all, but I found this one to be way more interesting. That's probably, you know, a sin. I don't know. Were people a big fan of The First Man? I thought it was an okay movie. But nonetheless, check out The Dish. It is a different type of comedy. It is by either the writer or director of The Castle, which is probably our most famous comedy. And I still have yet to see that film. So maybe I will find it funnier than I thought I, you know, originally would. But anyway, guys, have you guys seen The Dish? Let me know down below. Add a like, add it to your favorite, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.